All right, welcome to that rare early morning video. Well, I don't know if it's so early, it's almost 7 a.m. here, but these are good videos because they're pretty rare. So we're going to continue on with the prior video, this experienced technology professional series. And what we're going to do is make myself the best possible experienced technology uh, professional using the best possible chatbot available now using GPT-3. What in my I don't even know what it's using, but whatever it's using, it's doing a good job, a better job than OpenAI. So this is you.com. They have their own chatbot, and even better, you can save your history. So this is the history of the conversation. We started with a question: what is an experienced technology professional? We got a answer that um, describes me pretty darn well. So the next thing we told it to do is to name the 10 most important things to know. So the most important thing they said was an understanding of current and emerging technologies and trends. So let's start there. We're going to ask it another question. We're going to ask it, um, what is the best way to gain an understanding of current and emerging technologies and trends? Okay, so the best way to gain an understanding of current and emerging technologies and trends is to stay up to date on industry news and developments. This can be done by reading relevant blogs, attending conferences and trade shows, listening to podcasts and webinars, and reading influential people in the industry on social media. Additionally, taking courses in related topics such as coding and design can help you gain a better understanding of the current landscape. Finally, staying in touch with colleagues and peers can also be a great way to stay informed on the latest trends and technology. So I actually, I'll admit here, I actually asked it this question before, or a question like this, and this was the answer it gave. So what I did is I made a new folder under technical development here, and then I made a subfolder within that called blogs. So this is a series of bookmarks that will allow me to um, stay up to date on industry news and developments. So these are relevant blogs, um, and then some of them are podcasts, and then the other thing I could do for sure is further fine tune my social media, uh, in this case, LinkedIn, and make sure I'm following the right people. I actually read a book by Adam Grant, so I am following Adam Grant. He's been uh, posting really, really good posts, so I'm pretty glad I've been following him. Although I don't know how much value there is in things like this, especially with like echo chambers and stuff. I like to get the full story and then make up my own mind. Of course, so while avoiding misinformation, disinformation, propaganda, stuff like that, if possible. I don't think that is useful in making up your own mind. But anyway, we're off on a tangent here. Let's just go through and look at the top headlines. I can start each video like that. So here we've got TechSpot. So here's kind of a big story, in my opinion. If Google is declining, I want to know what other companies might rise to take its place, and we can already see, hey, Google, they have like Google Bard or whatever, but U.com has got this, and this has been better than anything else I can find. So if Google's declining, it might be time to jump ship on this using something like U.com. Um, and then, so these three stories all kind of interest me because there has been this round of layoffs. So like, I don't know what's behind that, and I might get a better sense in in reading those three articles. So let's just skim those quickly. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. So let's try to stop this section and go on to the next question at about the 15-minute mark. Yeah, so I heard that Bard was Google's version of this chat. Just like, why is he missing a brain? This looks like a smiley face with the person being represented not having a brain. Um, so yeah, and this system with half a brain or a missing brain is outperforming Google's offering, which isn't even released yet. So that's let's read more about that. Okay. All right. So here's something we can do. So this person is a pretty uh, important person, it looks like. So we can follow this person on LinkedIn. This is a tech entrepreneur who worked at Google, from my hometown. Um, so this might be someone, and it looks like they have a Medium account. So this would be someone that might be a good follow on LinkedIn. So we're going to do that. We're going to follow this person. Okay. Yeah, meetings. That's in my experience and my opinion. Once your calendar just gets flooded with meeting after meeting after meeting, and you don't have time to actually do the things that you're expected of, especially in like a large chunk. You can't just sit down for me, it's 5 hours is that sweet spot. If I get 5 straight hours of focusing on something, I can do a lot of really significant things. Or I can do one thing very, very well if I get, like, for example, on this channel, my app to look at all the events going on in Austin. It took me about 5 hours to see it through. Some extra time. I think there's two parts to the videos, but for me, that 5 hour block of uninterrupted time is what gets things done. So like, if there's meeting after meeting after meeting, and your day is a meeting at 8, a meeting at 10, a meeting at 1, I mean, it's like I just don't have the ability to context switch in that way. And Yeah. Yeah, and this is an interesting thing too, because from what I understand, a lot of the appeal of these companies is employees could like innovate. So if there's people are upset about not being able to do that, yeah, um that's quite a change. So what will make this I think worthwhile. So according to this person's opinion, who had a lot of success as a developer and who I'm now following on LinkedIn, there are four core cultural problems that can happen in a company. So this is useful um, as something I need to, I need to know as something important for me to know as a experienced networking professional to know what core cultural problems can be. In this case at Google, there's a claim that one of the core cultural problems is there's no mission. Another is that there's no urgency. Another is that there's delusions of exceptionalism. And then another one is mismanagement. Delusions of exceptionalism is kind of a big one for me, especially when that's coupled with kind of this sense of I don't know how to describe it, but like it's like when it's like coupled with like arrogance or like I'm the only person who can do this, I'm special in some way, and if we take some poor person in Africa and give them all the resources I had, they wouldn't do as well as me because they're inherently not as good. Like once you see stuff like that, for me that's a oh my god, step away, back away slowly, uh danger Will Robertson attitude. And it's a little bit hard to detect, but um I could see this delusions of exceptionalism being that in some sense, where people who have not had the same kinds of challenges as other people get deluded into thinking that they're somehow unusually significant or like a different tier or higher quality of person altogether, when really it was just the opportunities and advantages they had that other people did not have. And then the last one is mismanagement. Yeah, that looks like kind of a something to look out for too, is if a company essentially becomes a monopoly, and they don't really need to compete in the same way they used to because they'll just make money no matter what they do. That could be a bit of a red flag or a sign that things might be changing a lot in a way that's uh, not as exciting as before. Yeah, so like they can just keep going with the bureaucracy, keep going with uh, squelling innovation, and none of that will show up in the bottom line because they have a monopoly on this advertising business, and they'll keep getting money regardless what they do. Is a appears to be a claim from this developer. All right, so I'm finished reading this article. I found this to be pretty interesting. I'll post this on my video description. So this was good for me to read as an experienced technology professional. because um, it helped me to gain an understanding of current and emerging technologies and trends. One of those trends, I think, is going to be this kind of shifting in powers, because like even if uh, there's a monopoly on one kinds of money making system like advertising, creative, innovative companies that are not uh, relying upon that could easily find well, not easily, but they could find another form of uh, revenue that eventually outperforms the monopoly in a way, especially going forward into the future where we have these things like AIs. We're going to have more things like immigration due to the climate change. So, like a company that can figure out um, how to be opportunistic, especially in a positive way, um, with all the changes in the future, which there will be many, and there already are many. I believe that these chatbots are huge game changers. It's a new way. We used to like Googling something is a term, it's a verb. You Google it. Well, not anymore. People who are going to be Googling it, I don't think are going to uh, get as far as people who are really comfortable using these chatbots and who are using chatbots that respond in fair ways and don't kind of play games and say, "Oh, there's actually many opinions on whether the Holocaust is good or bad," that like give you clear uh, answers that you can use and that don't just confuse you and don't kind of set you up to fail if you reference what they told you. So so yeah, that's what we're so I'll continue doing that. So this was a interesting article. Yeah, the thing with Google not being able to release bar was kind of one of those things, because I was thinking, especially as I'm using this u.com tool, it's like, what is u.com? I've never heard of it. It kind of felt like going back to using Yahoo or AOL. In it kind of felt like I was using some kind of inferior service, and I was just thinking to myself, when is Bard coming out? Because I was like imagining myself switching over to Bard because I was imagining it being so much better and kind of thinking how it would be better. But I really underestimated this u.com company, because the more I used their tool, the more I realized this tool was really unusually significant, regardless of the company behind it. So that's what's important to me in the end, is using the best tools, whether it comes from Google, Yahoo, or u.com is not as important to me. Okay, so here's a article on Bing's offering. So I've had trouble using Bing's offering. There was from what I understand, it's using GPT-4, which is another algorithm. It's also trained on a data set, as AIs are. They use algorithms to train themselves on data sets, as far as I understand. So, yeah, I've been wanting to use this because I've heard that the algorithm perhaps is more sophisticated. Um, but I just can't access it. I don't know how to get access to it. I've tried. Should probably try again. But I'm really happy with this one here. So let's just read this article. See, and this, you know what? I'm gonna stop reading this article and I'm just gonna say something, because like I don't attack this. Like, because it's honest with me. It doesn't give me answers that are like, yes, like all of these chatbots are going to give you, it says here that Oh, this is the Google article, but it says here that it is not a reliable source of information. Please do not trust it. That's true for all of these chat things. You can ask it, how long will it take me to juggle 100 balls, and it'll tell you that you can do it. You absolutely cannot do stuff like that. There are the playing contents. There are rules in the universe that prohibit certain things, and these chatbots don't seem to understand that. But at the same time, ask any human. Google something. Like, this is a fundamental problem with life, is that not everything is totally reliable. So, you know, please do not trust it. I wouldn't go as far as to say that, but I would say, just like, any endeavor to gain knowledge, get multiple sources, check your sources, um, find out which are primary, which are secondary. Um, like, these are just basic, like, media literacy, critical thinking things that you need to apply to anything, not just special to these chatbots. Okay, so I'm actually not that interested in the Bing chat. I'm really happy with this u.com chat, so I'm gonna skip that one. Also, we're in the 20-minute mark, so kind of classic me on this channel, spending more time than I had initially thought I would spend. Um, so I kind of want to shut this down, and just take the win with reading this article on Google. We learned a lot of things about current and emerging technologies and trends. We learned that the AI chatbot offering from Google is having trouble getting off the ground. We learned that it might be because there are trends in Google that change the culture in four distinct ways that are not conducive to releasing really good, solid technologies. Those four ways are mismanagement, they are delusions of exceptionalism, they are lack of urgency, and they are lack of mission. So, um, yeah, and then the other thing we did is we went ahead and followed the person called out in that article on LinkedIn. So I'm pretty happy to check off this. Um, and you know what? That might be the whole video, actually, because we might do some other stuff in other videos, and this is 20 minutes, which is very long for a YouTube video, not necessarily for my YouTube videos, but it's enough to kind of put a thought into a vessel, and then we'll do another video exploring more into depth on this second question. All right, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.